Before I make my bread, I like to feed the sourdough starter about a few hours before I actually make the bread. And so here I'm doing that. I usually do a fourth a cup of everything, and sometimes I'll do a half a cup if I want more. When I use plain mason jars, I usually just cover with a folded paper towel and a clean hair pony, and then I just let it sit out at room temperature for those few hours. Whatever starter I had left in that original jar, I'll just put it into the discard jar, and that way I can use this for other recipes. And I put it back in the fridge. So now you're going to want to get out your scale and your bowl, and I would use glass or metal, and you're going to measure 50 grams of your active starter and 350 grams of water, and you're going to mix that together first, and then you're going to go in and you're going to measure out 500 grams of flour. I'm using all-purpose flour, and then 4 grams of salt, and you're going to finish mixing it together, and you're probably going to have to go in with your hands and make sure it's all combined. Once it's combined, I cover it with saran wrap, and then I keep it in a warm, dry environment. So I just set it in the oven, and I set an hour timer, and after that hour timer is up, I do my first fold, and this is, you can see like all those nice bubbles in there. That's just from that starter. And then I'm going to do 10 folds here. You're going to want to try not to rip it, but sometimes that happens. So go kind of slow. And you're going to do 10 folds, and this will be your first set of folds, and you're going to do 4 sets of these. And in between each fold, you want it to rest for 1 hour covered with the saran wrap. So I'm just scraping the edges of the bowl here with a scraper tool to kind of unstick the dough, and then here I am plopping it out, and it kind of stuck a little. It didn't work too well. Then you want to stretch out your dough. This way you can go in and add your cinnamon, and I added a touch of brown sugar to try to add a little sweetness to it, but I almost could have added more of both in the end. Then you want to just fold it kind of the sides like that, and then this is where you're going to add some tension, and you're really going to kind of roll it and keep it tight. But this, you can see I kind of stretched open part of the dough where that filling is, but it ended up being okay. And then here you're going to add your last bit of tension, and I'm no pro, but I got the job done. Then you're going to put it in a floured towel in a bowl and just sprinkle a little bit more, and then cover it up, and you're going to let it sit in the fridge for 3 to 24 hours. Now that it's been anywhere between 3 to 24 hours, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 with your Dutch oven in there so it gets hot. And I put it on parchment paper, my dough, but I'm just dumping it on there. And then you're going to make a little like line in there, or score it, I guess is the term, and then put it in your Dutch oven and bake it for 45 minutes. Then you're gonna pull it out, and look how beautiful it is. I like to let it cool for 10 to 15 minutes, and it was kind of hard to cutting because I didn't wait that long because I wanted to try a piece, but it turned out really good. But as you can see, the swirls were more in the middle of the dough, and that's why I'm saying I probably could add it a little more to make it more flavorful with that cinnamon filling.